Have you ever done something kind for someone, but only because people were watching? Would you have done that same thing if no one saw? Today, we're talking about who you really are when no one's actually watching, because that's the version of you that actually matters. And if you can't look at that version without feeling uncomfortable, this episode is for you. If you're new here, welcome to the Quest Yourself. I'm Allie, and this is Mia. If you've been here before, thanks so much for coming back. Today, we're talking about self awareness, authenticity, and the version of you that exists when no one's around. So let's dive in. I want to be really clear, like crystal clear. This isn't about calling anybody out. This isn't about making you feel like a bad person. This is about self awareness because the more self aware you are, the better you can navigate life. So let me ask you, are you kind to people when no one's watching? Or do you only show kindness when someone might notice? Because I've been around people who are so kind, so sweet to waiters, to strangers, to everyone when others are watching. But then you overhear them in a private conversation, or you see how they act when they think no one's looking. And they're completely different people. And you think, wait, what's going on here? This person is normally so nice. But here's the thing, they're not nice. They're performing niceness. And there's a big difference because who you are when no one's watching, that's who you really are. The things you do when you expect nothing in return, when no one's going to praise you, when no one's going to see, that's what actually defines you. So if you're only kind when people are watching and rude when they're not, you're not a kind person. You're just faking it. A few days ago, I was walking my dog, Mia, just a regular morning, and there was a woman asking for money. She kept saying, I'm really hungry. I'm so hungry. That morning, I had prepared myself a protein packed breakfast. I put it in a Tupperware and I wanted to take it to the park. I didn't have any cash to give her. So I just kind of ignored it and kept on walking. I went into this building and I started talking to some people. And I grabbed a few snacks. And then Mia and I made our way over to the park. And guess what? That same woman was sitting on a bench, still saying the same thing. I'm really hungry. I need money. Can anybody give me any food? And I thought, this can't be coincidence. I kept walking. I really did my best to try and ignore it because I thought if I just pretend like I don't hear her, I won't have to deal with this. But my conscience just wouldn't let me walk away. So I actually went up to her and I said, I have breakfast. If you're really going to eat it, I'll give it to you. And I asked that because I've had experiences where I've given people food and they've been so rude about it. So I wanted to make sure. She said, yes, I'm going to eat it. This looks so delicious. And I gave it to her and I walked away. Now, I'm not telling this story to make myself sound like a saint. I'm not. It took every bit of willpower I had to give away my food that day. It really did. Because I was genuinely so hungry. But I knew there was a reason I crossed paths with her twice. And the fact that I never take breakfast to the park, but that day I did, that felt like a sign. And here's the thing, no one saw me do that. No one praised me for it. There was no reward, just me, my dog, and the decision to give away my breakfast. And that's the point. What you do when no one's watching, that's what defines you. Are you kind to people when you know no one will see? Do you pick up the trash when no one's around to notice? Do you tip well when you're eating alone and have received great service? Because those are the moments that reveal who you actually are. And I'm not saying you have to be perfect. I'm not saying you have to give away your breakfast every time somebody asks. There are days where I'm exhausted on the metro in Spain and I don't want to give up my seat. And that doesn't make me evil. We're all human. We all have bad days. But here's the question: is your default kindness or is your default performance? If you're only kind when it benefits you or when people are watching, when you'll get credit to look good, then you're not living with integrity. You're living with an agenda. And I think we all know the difference. We've all been around people who are performatively kind, and it feels hollow. It feels fake. So you ask yourself, who am I when no one's watching? Who am I when I expect nothing in return? Who am I when there's no reward, no recognition, no applause? Because that version of you, that's the one that actually matters. So here's what I want you to do this week: pay attention to yourself when no one's watching. How do you treat people when there's no audience? How do you act when you won't get credit? And if you don't like what you see, change it. Not because someone's watching, but because you deserve to live a life with integrity. And so does everyone around you. Who you are when no one's watching, well, that's who you really are. So I want you to ask yourself, are you living with integrity or are you performing? Because the answer to that question will tell you everything you need to know. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of The Quest for Self. If this episode resonated with you and you have a few seconds, please give it a like or share your feedback with me in the comments section. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And if you know someone who needs to hear this message, share it with them. Your support means a lot to me and it helps others find this content. You can find me at The Quest for Self on all platforms. And one thing I always want you to remember is you don't have to earn your way to a better version of yourself. You're already becoming that person with every choice you make. Till next time.